As the tulips bloom and people flock from far and near, we say welcome in Holland, Michigan, the site of this divisional clash in the Midwest Premier League between Midwest United and the Holland Rovers, and it's live today on Sports Engine Play. With that, we say hello and welcome in. My name's Nate Wangler with you here today for this one. Well, these two teams have clashed a few times over their course of their history. There's you get a look at some of the upcoming matchups, the bottom part of your screen, but this one stands alone today between these two as we get a look at our standings here early in the season. Only one game for a lot of these teams, actually two games, beg your pardon. Midwest United, they've played one, they have drawn in one, right in the middle of those standings, and as you see, the Holland Rovers 0-1. They lost in a 4-0 shutout their last time out against Goshen City FC. So the goal here today, well, get back on top if you're Holland Rovers again during a time in the year in which people flop from all over the place in order to come see the tulips blooming here in Holland, Michigan. For the Holland Rovers, Coach Cole Pauly, that is still their head coach. You get a look at our starters here tonight. Bradshaw Ullman, Mason Horwath, Cash Williams, that is. By the way, Ullman will be the one in net today for the Rovers. Clay Wieringa, Russ Ebert is wearing number 4. Jack Hinsey, Drew Sodak, Easton Lopez from Davenport University, not too far away from Holland, Fletcher Van Houw, Ivan Murillo, and Lake Vanderplug. On the other side, Jordan Rokes, Davian Gums, who, by the way, his brother is also playing for Midwest United. He is the backup goalkeeper. Isaac Cervantes, Ben Novak, Noah Christian, Caden Chenlo. We got Rory Cobb, Manny Badoa, Tice Glover, Carlo Santivanas, and Abraham Fry. So we get ready to go for this one. Well, that'll set the table for this one. 83 degrees. It is a hot one in Holland today. It has happened quickly. I felt like a week ago it was freezing, but it's up there. Wind gusts 25 miles an hour. So it is a breezy one today as these two get ready to clash. Again, a very important divisional matchup here in the beginning of the season. Live from Saugatuck High School, the Turf Stadium here in Saugatuck, Michigan. Well, that sets the table for this matchup here today. Just about ready to get underway. We'll step aside for a brief moment, and then we'll get you the action here between Midwest United and Holland.
Soccer fans, the National Soccer Network is now streaming live on Roku. All for packages starting at just $2.99. Don't miss a moment of the action. National Soccer Network on Roku. Every goal, every save, every moment. ready to create unforgettable moments for your audience? NSN offers professional live streaming and full broadcast services tailored to your needs. From high-quality production to exceptional coverage, we ensure your game or event becomes a spectacle to remember. Book your next game with us today. Call 586-304-4405 to schedule your broadcast and let NSN bring the action to life like never before.
And we're just about ready to get started. We welcome you back in. Midwest Premier League action here live today. Midwest United, Holland Rovers, both of which are looking to get their first win here in the 2026 season. So again, otherwise a good day today for this matchup. Again, 83 degrees. That wind is blistering. It was all of earlier this week. It was actually down into the 40s, into the high upper 30s at night during the middle of the week, but we have warmed up quite a bit here on this May the 17th. Again, during tulip time in Holland. Midwest United, of course, their Grand Rapids counterpart, has been playing since 1990 at several different levels across the American soccer landscape. Just recently did a USLW game of theirs, but today it's all about the Midwest Premier League. As we get this one underway, game number 3 of the 26th season. And it's live today here on the National Soccer Network. My name's Nate Wangler, flying solo for this one today. High expectations for both of these two clubs coming into the season. We can talk a little bit about both coaching staffs here momentarily. Methodical approach to this one leads to a rainbow over top. Again, Bradshaw Ullman in goal today for the Rovers. On the other side for Midwest United, Jordan Rokos manning the posts. Hard foul that time will lead to a set-piece opportunity. You're just under a minute into this first half. So the Holland Rovers giving up an early chance. Midwest United will look to curl one on with the left here. Strike with the left towards that far post and sent away just off the line. Nearly snuck its way in, but Holland able to avoid disaster as it's worked back to the midfield stripe, and Midwest will get back to work. Good early opportunity for Midwest United, just couldn't put it through. This one will roll in towards goal. Toss back out here by Bradshaw Ullman.
Come on. Rory, the first time you had it, Davey was wide open. Try to switch him, he's wide open.
Ullman himself playing his college soccer at Alma College, up near Mount Pleasant. Same general area. It's not too far from Central Michigan University. Portage, Michigan product, the senior for the Alma Scots. Getting a piece of that early one as they're able to keep it out just over 2 minutes into this first half. But 10 contests a season ago during the regular season, 9 starts, a team high 53 saves, a goals against average of only 173, so it was otherwise pretty stout. And net there for the Scots. Jordan Rokos will lift a rainbow over the midfield stripe. And Midwest United will get back to work. They can be a measured team at times. They can also play direct as this one goes out for a goal kick. But Ullman's done a little bit of both of the footballs. He's played the European variety, of course, currently playing it, but he's also playing, or used to play, that is the American variety of football. 2022, back in high school, actually two-time all-conference honoree. Actually won a district championship in 22, so that's called being versatile. Transferring back to his home state. You're opening his college career in Illinois. Just when it's too much pace on it. Out of bounds here, throw in for Midwest United. On the other side, Jordan Rokos. Nate Wangler with you here today. Just follow social media at Wangler_Nathan for this one as the Rovers get a set piece chance of themselves into the mixing bowl headed up out of play. And I believe a goal kick upcoming. Correction, it looks as if it's going to be a corner. So a good set piece opportunity for Holland. You're just under 5 minutes into this first half, but yeah, Jordan Rokos, part of the MLS Next. Certainly a bright future ahead of him, and of course Midwest United has made it a priority to develop their academy system, and they've done an exceptional job of doing that. Holland, a real chance to strike though. Whip one in towards the near post and head it up just above the 18. Lofted back out. Just past 5, and again, we talked about Midwest playing direct. They'll try to hit on the counter. Throw in upcoming here. But for the Holland Rovers, Cole Pauly, their head coach, former collegiate player, North Park University, also played at Hope College. You have some really nice facilities over there at Hope. Cornerstone of that Holland community. Again, we talked about the tulips and how it's tulip time. Hope kind of stands as a sign for what that community is. It's really nice over there. Over 6 minutes gone here in this first half. No scoring just yet. But now in his second year as an assistant coach at Hope College. Very much a focus, high-intensity training, technical and mental development. But second year with the team, and has been really good. The Flying Dutchman as well. And a big whistle here coming up.
Rory, go, Isaac Stein. Rory, go. Just sort this out. One in front of me.
Right back to the corner we go, I believe. And a corner played in. And off the back line, goal kick upcoming. Correction, looks like another corner kick here for Midwest United. Played in towards the near post where it's headed away there. And credit to Holland here inside of 10 minutes. Been able to navigate their way out of a couple of tight spots on these set piece opportunities. An effective work from Midwest United to this point. Road back out by Bradshaw Ullman, and they'll get back to work. But assistant coach Zach Wood played for the Holland Rovers, transitioning into coaching. Dan Hesselbein was a former Hope College goalkeeper, camp director at Tiger goalkeeping coach also at Midwest United FC, but emphasizes technique, confidence, positional understanding. It's going to be important for Ullman to have a good match here today to give him a chance. Play this one through the middle of the pitch. Shot there and a save by Ullman. Full extension, got the fingertips on, but a bevy of early chances for Midwest United. It's back to the corner we go. On the other side for Midwest United, though, Hector Fernandez, futsal director at Midwest United, part of that MLS Next Academy. They send this one in, and it hits the post. A chance to blast one in north of the 18, but it's lobbed up and out of play. Bradshaw Ullman got some help from his friend, the goalpost. Stays tied at 0. But the pace in which Midwest United plays sometimes is eerily reminiscent to that of what you normally see in a futsal environment. Already some early quality chances. Couldn't sneak that last one past Ullman. Out along the touchline. And a throw in for United. Those of you joining us here today on the network, we say thank you and welcome in. Maybe a key takeaway here for Holland. Ivan Murillo. Early pressure on the attack that time. Just couldn't rip it back for a clean opportunity. And it leads to a counter chance for Midwest United. Circle it back to the near side. Bedoya handles with his left. Drops it off in the middle of the box where it's intercepted before being ripped back by Midwest United. Shuffled out wide after the interception. Here by the Tulips. Whistled ahead. Going down in transition on their runs. Allows United to play it out from the back. Just past 11. Holland Rovers team, again, mainly comprised of local college talent. You see that a lot with these teams. Drew Sotok, as we've already mentioned, out of Trinity College. Matt Fairchild, Grace Christian University. Part of the National Christian Collegiate Athletic Association. There's the NCAA, the NAIA, and of course, the NCCAA, which several NAIA programs actually compete in both the NAIA and the NCCAA. Look at this build from Holland. Short-lived. Ooh, and a slide tackle to take it away. There's no one back for Midwest United. A strike, and it's in! What in the world just happened?
Goal for your strike, Rovers, number 16.
Jordan Rokos went on a vacation to try and take that ball away, and Holland rips it back and scores. I've seen a lot of wacky, weird plays. That one probably takes the cake. About 4 Midwest United players doing their best without using their arms or hands to keep that one out. And Holland says thank you very much. 1-0. So it is 1-0 Holland Rovers on top. You're just past 13 minutes in this first half. And an early strike for them after a handful of set-piece opportunities for United in what felt like just the first 10 minutes. Holland has completely flipped this thing on its head. Rokos again well out from in front of goal. And out of bounds. Just under 15 minutes. You're into the 15th minute in this first half. Deep ball to the far side of the field. We'll end up going out of play here, so right back to the Holland Rovers. Of course, when we talk about this year, you know, I've only mentioned it a few times coming into the broadcast, but the area of Holland comes alive. Of course, the Dutch heritage in this community really adds to what makes it a great place to play. Following that pipeline to the pros, United looking to rip one back. Centered chance, sent away. Just north of the 18 as Midwest will stretch it out wide yet again. Rovers back line doing what they need to do to take the pressure off Ullman. Early in this one. But for hundreds of years, the tulip has been one of the most loved flowers in the Netherlands. Of course, being we are a country of immigrants, made up of immigrants. Many from the Netherlands ended up settling in Holland, Michigan. So that's where the connection came from. A deep ball over top for the Rovers. Chance to put another one through. Fletcher Van Houw as that one ripped away from his foot and sent out of bounds. But still a throw-in coming up for Holland. Done a good job of creating some of those one-on-one chances. That one taken away, but still a throw-in upcoming. But the tulip itself, synonymous with the country. As clogs, windmills, cheese. Also throw in those little graham cracker windmill cookies. I don't know if that's signature to the Netherlands, but my goodness, is it not the best cookie in the world? This one sent out of bounds. Another throw-in here for Holland. But the tulip field's always something that brings all the people here to the west side of the state of Michigan. If you ever wanted to learn about the history of tulips and why it is synonymous with Holland, the website itself, the tourism website, is pretty good at explaining all of it. I only have about just under 30 minutes remaining here to tell you about it, so. But I will say they are aesthetically beautiful. Those colorful fields are really cool if you get an opportunity to go see them. If you don't even need to know all the history, just go enjoy Holland. Enter into the 19th minute in this first half. What a cross that nearly was put home here by United. Up over top. And continuing to knock on the door of leveling this game, just shy of 20 minutes in.
Roy, top of the 18.
Actually, James Schofield, I believe that's how you pronounce that, is my producer today. The National Soccer Network, very quickly United. We'll try to level it on a cross. Popped up in the middle of the 18 where it's headed out wide. Settled there, United. Been denied a couple of prime chances already in this first half. And Holland's been able to hit on the counter. Some fancy footwork along the sidelines here from Murillo. Sit back to the middle. Holland maybe looks for an overarching run and a takedown just north of the box. Nothing called there. We'll continue playing. You're just shy of the 20th minute. 21st minute, that is. I'm actually getting confirmation from James saying that Schofield is the correct pronunciation. So therefore, there you go. I'm good at pronunciations once in a while. But he is my producer back in the studio today, and he said, I seriously didn't know about the tulips. It is a Michigan special, my friend. Many different things that are special about this state. Out of bounds throw in for Holland. Think about Grand Rapids, used to be Furniture City. Obviously now it's Beer City, USA. So certain things have changed over the years, microbreweries being one of them. You have Traverse City, Michigan, which is synonymous with cherries. It's the cherry capital of the U.S. Laid out wide of the 18, tough tackle. And it leads to a goal kick here. Good job by Midwest United, protecting that back line, and Sokos made an early mistake that led to the 1-0 lead for Holland. We'll send this one away. I think we all know what Detroit is synonymous for, right? Vehicles, motor vehicles, the Motor City. I mean, it all speaks for itself. One of the, I guess, less known ones is Holland with their tulip time. Speaking of Holland, takeaway at the midfield. What can they do with it? In Game 3, the Midwest Premier League season, a left-footed strike wide of the intended target. Clay Wieringa lined it up, but just wrapped it a little bit wide of goal. It stays 1-0 Holland here into the 22nd. But if you're watching along here today on YouTube, feel free to drop a comment. Maybe your prediction, this Game 3, Match Day 3 matchup. Make sure to get to your comments at halftime. Look at some of our upcoming matchups there at the bottom of our screen. We'll also talk about what else is happening around the Midwest Premier League. But up and down, the pace has been nonstop in this one today. United looking to take one back. Ooh, and a tough takedown from behind. Looks like maybe Fletcher Van Howe on that one on the tough challenge. A set piece chance here for United. Tyler Glover to stand over it. Angles one of the host of bodies. No one comes away with it. And then it's rocketed the other way. A one-on-one battle for it. Holland nearly emerges from the pile. Ivan Murillo has been a lot to deal with. The forward here today, the physical battle as they send this one up and out of play. So another clear chance here for Midwest United. Rio playing at Adrian. Another Division III program here in Michigan. To Kalamazoo Central High School. 5 goals, 2 assists in his sophomore campaign in 2025. Played in all 17 games. So it's clear what Adrian believes they have in him. Rocket this corner into the middle, and it's headed in. Finished off by United. We're back on level terms. It's 1 apiece.
Goal for Midwest, number 3, Caden.
Excellent strike and excellent timing. Brings us back to 1-1. So back to 1-1 here, just shy of 25 minutes. About ready to get into the 26th here in this first half. Again, coming up at halftime, take a look at your comments on YouTube. Anybody that's following along in this matchup today, we'll also talk about everything that happened. The Rovers were able to benefit right away from an early mistake. Jordan Rokos, who is otherwise very reliable in the goalkeeper position, came well out from his position. There's a slide tackle. They got the ball past him. And then defenders around him helpless to try and keep the ball out without using their arms or hands. He can't do that. Holland set piece here in the 26th. Cleared out from the 18 along the touchline, and another throw in here for Holland. Of course, looking back at last season for both of these two, 10 games apiece. That is the length. The shortened season here in the Midwest Premier League. The Rovers' third place finish. 17 points.
Number 14.
Plus 3 goal differential. They were competitive throughout. So obviously hoping to turn that into something more, but pretty even on even terms when it comes to the people they're facing today here in Midwest United FC. They were in 4th place last year, 16 points. Solid debut, but of course still a lot to learn. Taken away by United. Headed away from the box, out wide of the 18. Pulled up out of bounds, and I think that will be another corner. A litany of corner opportunities here for Midwest United. Well, after getting their last one off a corner, just a few short minutes ago, can they get 2? Far end. Headed out of the danger area as the Rovers will try and set up a counterattack.
Take it. Thank you. General, just make sure you step up, Davey.
Out of bounds along the touchline. Into the 29th minute. Live here today from Saugatuck High School football stadium. The Trailblazers, as they're known. One of the more unique mascots. And it looks like that will bring us to halftime. One apiece between Midwest United and Holland Rovers. A competitive matchup here in Game 3. We'll set it aside. Be right back here on the National Soccer Network. All right, I stand corrected. It is not halftime. That was just a water break, I believe. And so it is hot. It is the turf. Again, I was just talking about Saugatuck High School here in their football stadium for the Trailblazers. Football of the American variety. And again, if it is 83 degrees out, it can get very hot on the turf field. So it looks like that's what the situation was. Just giving these guys a chance to get some water in them. And it looks like we'll get back to work here in a 1-1 draw. To those of you just joining us here on the National Soccer Network, we say hello and welcome in. Holland got their early goal after a bad giveaway from Jordan Rokos turned into an open net opportunity. Holland took the lead. And then Midwest United off a corner. A header and a perfect one. It leveled the game at one apiece. Now United been making some good progress. This one's looped just high. An attacking player at that far post, but they retain possession. Rovers turn this one. They look forward as Rokos once again. I know I'm using the yard line locations here, but if it gives you any sort of idea, he's all the way out to the 25-yard line playing some of these balls. I've seen aggressive, then I've seen that. But not letting his team get caught off guard. You have to respect it. Slide tackle nearly leads to a turnover, but Holland able to retain the ball. Into the 32nd minute in a very close first half. And again, a very important matchup for Holland today. A takedown and a set-piece opportunity. Again, Midwest United got their point already. They already have a point this season. Opened the year against Tulip City SC and played that one to a 0-0 draw. Whereas Goshen City back on Saturday, May the 9th, got the best of Holland. 4-0 shutout. In that game over at the Goshen College Athletic Complex. Can Holland retake the lead? Standing over it, whips it in, and wide. Thought he had a connection at that far post. That was Cash Williams. He was looking to beat Cash Money. Just came up a little bit shy, and it stays 1-1 here in the 33rd. Of course, the other scores in and around the Midwest Premier League. It was back on that Saturday, May the 9th. In 1927, SC took on Grand Rapids SC. 3-0 shutout for 27 in that matchup. So great early showing for those guys. And Saturday, May the 16th, ended up playing to a 1-1 draw against Lansing Common. This Midwest United team, somewhat quick turnaround after this one. They have that Lansing Common team coming up on Friday. So if they can't get the job done against Holland here today, the road only gets harder from this point on. After drawing in their last match, probably not what they want at the end of the day today. Holland working it back in front of goal. Is Ullman able to release it? They give credit where it's due. Bradshaw Ullman has looked impressive here in this first half. As he gave up that one off the header, it's a tough one not to give up. He has had no problem establishing himself in front of net. A takedown and a giveaway here to Midwest United. Into the 35th, final 10 here in this first half. Of course, one of the things that made Holland good in the games that they won last year was they were just defensively solid. Very good at maintaining those back lines, and it really does have a sense of weathering the storm for this matchup today. Bonked right off the head of Cash Williams as they look to turn this one around. All the way into net. Ullman dropped down to pick this one up. Cash Williams, a product of Hudsonville High School. Originally adopted from Haiti. Has lived in Michigan his whole life. Started actually playing soccer at the age of 5 years old, before eventually announcing his commitment to play at Tiffin University.
On for Midwest, number 17, Austin Tucker. Number 21, Paul Frillman. Number 18, Raylan Legg.
Obviously was so good in the high school ranks. So everybody will make sure their equipment is where it needs to be. 38th minute. Here this first half. But looking at pictures on X, formerly known as Twitter, but it is a picture of Cash Williams surrounded by his fellow teammates. Of course, at Grand Haven, or rather Hudsonville High School. They got the Tiffin logo of the commitment back. Actually, recently, last year, May 27th to 25. continuing to try and hone his skills and grow in the college game. One thing about the Midwest Premier League, a lot of these players, some of them in college, some of them through the academy system, it is really a collection and a diverse collection of players from different realms. Takedown that time will lead to a set piece here for the Holland Rovers in the 39th. Into the corner it goes. Holland looking to set up a chance here in a 1-1 draw. Rainbowed up over top to the far end. We're just headed out north of the 18. And in terms of opportunities on both sides, pretty much dead even in this first half. Once settled down, Jordan Rokos will step out to boot it away.
On for the Rovers, number 19, Isaiah Rodriguez, and number 26, Tristan Patch.
A couple of substitutions here for the Holland Rovers right before halftime. Matt Fairchild, Easton Lopez, talked about, coming into the picture here for Holland, trying to give them a jolt here at the end of the first half.
Anderson Collins.
Easton Lopez playing his college ball at Davenport University. Actually from Norton Shores, Michigan. Now, what do we have here? I believe we just had our first card assessed here today. And it's against the Holland Rovers. So a yellow is assessed to Holland. Midwest United will take their set piece opportunity here in the waning moments of this first half. Nolan Mick will stand over this. Second time here today that they have trusted him from this spot.
Options, Nolan. Look up. Just make sure.
Mick will try and make it happen. With the right. Towards the far post. Head in and snared. Ullman got his hands up there to take it away. Good vertical ability here from Ullman on this play. Look at this. Great header, but Ullman still able to high point it. And a nice play to cut that one down. You can tell just how much Midwest United really wants to give Nolan Mick those opportunities.
Hold it size, hold it.
Part of the Midwest United FC MLS Next Academy. This one's played out to the 45. Using the yard lines, and not everybody appreciates that. It'll be really interesting to see if there is a budding rivalry between the likes of Midwest United and Grand Rapids AC, which is coming to the city starting in 2027. Made a lot about what exactly that could look like for Grand Rapids, and of course will only add to the pantheon of soccer talent here on the west side of the state. We are live here on YouTube today on the National Soccer Network. Again, drop us a follow, like, subscribe. If you leave a comment, probably talk about it at halftime. And also make sure you give a follow Inside the Game. Weekly morning show Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 on the National Soccer Network. Ryan Glinsky and myself will have a chance to preview and recap everything that happened in and around Midwest Premier League, USLW, and USL2. And everything else you need to know around the American soccer scene as we get set to embark on what will be the biggest soccer tournament in our country's history in the World Cup. Many people thrilled, excited to be a part of it. Certainly thrilled to witness it here in the United States. And really what it could mean in terms of bringing this game, this sport to the next level in the U.S. in terms of cultural relevance, in terms of popularity. A really hard challenge there on the far end. Goes out along the touch line and a throw in here for United. Believe we are into added time here in the first half and a 1-1 draw between United and Holland. But that really is the goal, and not just that it becomes more popular, but that leagues and teams and clubs, much like Midwest United and Holland Rovers, will be able to benefit from the momentum that creates for them. Can United get one more before we call it wraps on the first half? Ullman takes that one away. Looked like a chance to cross it, and Ullman cuts it off at the source. We stay tied at 1. Back out here towards the 50. And then knocked up. Ullman able to collect it. Had a Midwest United player in his face, but still able to pull it in. Trying to fight his way up through pressure is Easton Lopez. Brand of ball that he plays all too well. A scrappy brand of ball. Turnover there.
Let's get one, boys. Davey and her ties.
Out of bounds here.
Last seconds.
I believe another corner for Midwest United. Can they push out ahead before half? Headed up high north of the box, where it's flung back into the massive bodies. And worked out north of the 18 as the halftime whistle will sound. 1-1 draw here between Midwest United and the Holland Rovers, but it hasn't been for a lack of chances. Ullman, a good save to open the match. It was an early storm for Midwest United in terms of momentum-wise. Just put a lot of pressure on goal. Got some help from the post that time to keep it deadlocked at 0. Then not long later, again, Jordan Rokos way out from in front of goal, gets it taken away from him. And Holland able to capitalize. Rip that one into the back of the net. But the pressure from Midwest United would not stop. They just kept at it, kept pushing the pressure. Ended up resulting in a corner kick that gave them that 1-1 draw. And here's a look at that. Rather, this is one of the early set piece opportunities. Mind you, they have a mountain of an advantage when it comes to the set pieces here today. Here is that header off the corner. Perfect in terms of the timing to level this game at 1. And that's where it leaves us here at halftime. 1 apiece between Midwest United here and the Holland Rovers. As these highlights play out, we'll be back after a short time here in Saugatuck. Give a look at our halftime rundown. The Rovers and Midwest United both in search of win number 1 here in the 2026 summer campaign. We'll see who's able to finish it out, or maybe we get a draw. Who knows? We'll find out on the other end when we come back here on the National Soccer Network.
Soccer fans, the National Soccer Network is now streaming live on Roku. All for packages starting at just $2.99. Don't miss a moment of the action. National Soccer Network on Roku. Every goal, every save, every moment. Are you ready to create unforgettable moments for your audience? NSN offers professional live streaming and full broadcast services tailored to your needs. From high-quality production to exceptional coverage, we ensure your game or event becomes a spectacle to remember. Book your next game with us today. Call 586-304-4405 to schedule your broadcast and let NSN bring the action to life like never before. Soccer fans, the National Soccer Network is now streaming live on Roku. All for packages starting at just $2.99. Don't miss a moment of the action. National Soccer Network on Roku. Every goal, every save, every moment. Are you ready to create unforgettable moments for your audience? NSN offers professional live streaming and full broadcast services tailored to your needs. From high-quality production to exceptional coverage, we ensure your game or event becomes a spectacle to remember. Book your next game with us today. Call 586-304-4405 to schedule your broadcast and let NSN bring the action to life like never before. Soccer fans, and National Soccer Network is now streaming live on Roku. All for packages starting at just $2.99. Don't miss a moment of the action. National Soccer Network on Roku. Every goal, every save, every moment.
Are you ready to create unforgettable moments for your audience?
NSN offers professional live streaming and full broadcast services tailored to your needs. From high-quality production to exceptional coverage, we ensure your game or event becomes a spectacle to remember. Book your next game with us today. Call 586-304-4405 to schedule your broadcast and let NSN bring the action to life like never before. Soccer fans, and National Soccer Network is now streaming live on Roku. All for packages starting at just $2.99. Don't miss a moment of the action. National Soccer Network on Roku. Every goal, every save, every moment.
League action here in the Great Lakes Division. So you get ready for the start of the second half here between the Holland Rovers and Midwest United in a 1-1 draw so far here today. And it was an early mistake from the goalkeeper for Midwest United, and Jordan Rokos came well out from in front of goal. Had it taken away, Holland was able to convert, but not long later, Midwest United converted off a corner kick. And that brings us to these 1-1 draw as we get set to roll here in half number 2. My name's Nate Wangler. We're live here today on the National Soccer Network. And give us a like, give us a follow. Your place for everything soccer here in the USA, everywhere around the USL. We also give our MLS Match Day recap every week. That's live on Inside the Game, the podcast. My name's Nathan Wangler, at Wangler_Nathan on social media. But if you give us a follow on Inside the Game, again, we'll give you full match recaps as well as any interesting storylines, key trends, getting full coverage as we get ready for that World Cup. And, of course, everybody here on the pitch today hoping to maybe one day represent their country in the World Cup. It's obviously those hopes for the U.S. men's national team hopefully running high as we get closer to that tournament. We know the odds are forever going to be stacked against that team, but I guess the only thing you're always looking for is a chance. And that's what both of these sides here in the second half, and not just any chance, an important chance to get their first win here in the 2026 regular season. Just about ready to roll. Holland now will be on the left side of your screen. They're in their black kits here today with the white numbers and the white sleeves. And that Rovers patch on their right sleeve. Midwest United will now be going right to left. This one curls its way up out of play, and look at that. I mean, it's just seconds into the second half. We already have another corner coming up here for United. And if there's one thing we've learned about this club here in Grand Rapids, they have just been so unbelievably good at developing young talent in their academy systems. See if maybe they can start to lean on the legs a little bit of this Holland Rovers team. Maybe can take the lead off of this set piece here in the 46th minute in this 1-1 tie. Looped up overhead and out of play, where Holland Rovers will take it right back. Throw in upcoming here. Give you guys key updates of everything that's going on in and around American soccer. As in today, Anthony Jedi Robinson, his first goal in the Premier League. Key part of that U.S. men's national team, getting goal number 1 for Fulham today. Out of bounds throw in. You're coming to the Holland Rovers. Of course, I myself have gotten to cover Midwest United already a few different times. Mainly with their USL team last year. Of course, I did cover their USLW team earlier this week, who features one of the more interesting prospects, eye-opening prospects in the entire country. It's London Spencer, who's competing at just 13 years old. And if you're asking me how that's possible, I'm not quite sure. She debuted at 12 last year. By the way, that is the youngest player to ever have their debut in the USLW at 12 years old against college kids. So that tells you anything you need to know. The way Midwest United operates, that should tell you everything. Rovers giving them everything they can handle here in this one. Approaching 3 minutes into the second half. Of course, not just any player, London Spencer is. By the way, we go right back to the corner here for Midwest United. But one of their key players, too. She had an assist in their win over Union FC Macomb. A deep throw-in, rather. Leads through for a moment, but no one can blast it on as it's rolled back out towards the midfield. United flipping it to the far end as they look to curl it back into the 18, but it's taken away. And a foul near the midfield here by United will give it over to Holland. Of course, Holland Rovers, not the only team here in this division from Holland. Tulip City United SC, also a Holland-based Midwest Premier League team. Of course, you talk about the models of these two clubs. A little bit different. Holland's more locally sourced model, contrasting with that of United's youth academy pathway. But that's not to say one's better or worse. Holland has still done an exceptional job of producing some really good players, and that's the hope as they continue to develop and grow into this spot in the Midwest Premier League. That will only become more so as the years continue to pass. Throw in for Holland. You're almost 5 minutes gone in the second half. Of course, they have been competitive in recent years, mostly Goshen City FC. If there's been one team that has been a thorn in the side of Holland, it's been that team. With Cole Pauly and the assistant coach over at Hope and the head coach here, the Holland Rovers. I think one thing that he has shown he could do with the Flying Dutchman, it's develop the mental and physical side of the games. It's so important here in the Midwest Premier League. Again, it is a hot one here today, 83 degrees in Saugatuck, Michigan. Cloud cover overhead. Fortunately for the players, the wind is blowing at about 25 miles an hour. The only issue potentially could be we do have some thunderstorms in the forecast, both here today, tomorrow, as well as coming up on Tuesday. Ooh. And some ankles at the midfield. Does it turn into a chance for Midwest United? Play on the far end, I believe the Rovers with a throw-in. Good move at the midfield, just couldn't finish off the opportunity. Ben Borak, now the forward here for Midwest United into the game. In the front, and saved. Ullman went vertical for it, and he's able to win the battle. How about that? Just right off the throw-in. Nearly gave one right away. But able to pull it in, and fortunately, no harm, no foul for the Holland Rovers. There's Ben Borak, another product of Trine University. Sizzled through the middle of the 18. Turned away by the collection of black and white jerseys in front as they flip it back to the midfield. It's someone who has absolutely been a handful here today, just waiting for his chance to finally break through. It's Ivan Murillo. Ooh, what a hard challenge. Midwest United player doing about 3 barrel rolls that time after the hard challenge. Doesn't look like any colors have been assessed. A good sign of sportsmanship. Here from Fletcher Van Howe stopping over to make sure that he's good to go. And correction, looks like we do have a color. Our second yellow of the game here to the Holland Rovers. Van Howe will separate himself from the situation. Fletcher Van Howe also playing at Holland. Check that, Alma University. 17 games, 10 starts. 2 goals, team high, or rather career high 4 points this last year in 2025, but he started his career at Madonna University before getting that call to go play at Alma. Former Holland Sentinel All-Area player. He was actually first-team All-District MVP Offensive Player Award. Captain in Leadership Award. During his time in high school. Of course, Josh Van Howe, his father, played soccer at Eastern Michigan University. So he was an EMU product. Now getting to watch his son playing the college game as well. Family bonds are always stronger in this game. Bleeds out along the end line. And yes, it means another corner for Midwest United. That is now 8. Check that, 7 corner opportunities for Midwest United in this match. If anything, impressive to see how Holland has held up. To the far end, headed away, but then settled just outside the 18. It's flicked up and out of play, but a throw-in chance here for United. In the 55th minute, just 10 minutes gone in the second half. He'll back up all the way to the middle of the track. A strong throw, and pulled in by Ullman. Establishing himself in the middle there, leaps up to pull it in. We'll get ready to direct traffic here. Talked about Cole Pauly a little bit, head coach for the Holland Rovers. As Ullman, gets way out from his position. Chip past him initially, and he's able to dive back on top. A play that almost looked identical to what we saw to Jordan Rokos at the beginning of this match. And it was almost disastrous, just like that one was. But Ullman able to get back to it and will send it away. But I was just about to say, Cole Pauly, highly complimentary of his goalkeeper's instincts and abilities as they play again here. Stops this one in the 18. But normally, I would say that playing American football is not necessarily that prepares you well to play European football. But I will say, as a goalkeeper, maybe it gives you a bit of a physical advantage. Don't really have to worry about other people invading your space if they just bounce off you in the first place. Out of bounds, and a throw in here for Holland. So certainly works as a benefit for Ullman. Right now is maintaining this 1-1 draw despite a lopsided time of possession and opportunities. Speaking of, here's another. Turned aside just wide of the 18. And then angled to the far post. Sent away, proper clearance for Holland, and we'll start up again here in the 57th. But a lot of it coming down to Dan Hasselbein again in his history playing at Hope College as a goalkeeper. Tough challenge towards the midfield. It will be a call here for Midwest United. Lake Vanderplug trying to plug up the middle of the pitch. Got a piece of a United player on the way by, and they'll settle it down there. Rainbow ball into the 18. Looking for a handball. Looks like that time where the Holland Rovers don't end up getting it. We'll go to the corner. And that's where United will once again set up another corner kick opportunity. They have to feel like eventually they have to find a way to break through. Tough to get a good strike on it with the way the wind is blowing. That one's wide of the intended target. You see the American flag off in the distance, blistering in the wind. It has been in and out. It has been circling at times, and it maybe gives you an idea as to why some of these balls in have been tough to really place. A blast. Ullman can't make the save. And United, in a unified effort, are finally able to launch themselves into the lead. It was a long time coming. It's 2-1 Midwest United. And just a bad turnover leads to a chance just outside the 18 and past the outstretched hand of Ullman. And it's the Grand Rapids boys back in front. It's 2-1 here in the 60th. Substitution here for the Holland Rovers. Couple of players coming on. Kevin Torres onto the pitch. Malachi Lopez. Also seeing Jonathan Kern check in for the Holland Rovers. So maybe a chance to get some fresh legs on. Get them moving back in the right direction. Man, and frustrating for this club too after getting that early goal. Momentum-wise, it has been all Midwest United. Can Holland find a way to flip that momentum back their direction? As we talked about some of the history of Midwest United on the other side for Holland Rovers. They actually formed back in 2016. Local players competed together in indoor soccer at the soccer stop in Holland. So, as in a lot of clubs, grassroots played through. Ullman takes it away on a dive. Sends a Midwest United player sputtering up over top. Exchange. And a handshake between Ullman and the attacking player for United. Another good sign of sportsmanship there as Ullman will walk it out here in the 62nd. But those players competed together in indoor soccer again at that soccer stop in Holland. But I know we say Holland Rovers. I guess it's the English translation of what it is. But it's technically spelled S-T-R-U-I-K-R-O-V-E-R. So it's like strike over. But it is Dutch for bandits / highwaymen / land pirates. To be honest, it's the first time I've ever heard about a land pirate, but I imagine they do the same thing pirates do, just on land. But fitting the area's Dutch heritage, the tagline always locally sourced, but emphasizes community-based, all local athletes, rather than academy imports. So again, just a little bit different than what the structure looks like on the other side for Midwest United, but split from earlier Michigan Rover affiliations, a true grassroots community team. Offsides here, doesn't look like it's called. United gets away with it, and they'll look to set something up. Curled back towards the post and sent away that time. Surviving to see another day. So get another look at this one on the replay. It looked initially as if it was offsides. But able to step up and clear that one away. And a throw in here for Midwest United. Up over top of everything. Out of bounds for what will be a goal kick here for Ullman. Again, James Schofield, our producer here today on the National Soccer Network. Nathan Wangler with you. Lion Solo on the play-by-play side rather here today. James Schofield, our producer, actually chiming in saying he loves the trivia. It's not really trivia. I'm not testing you. I'm just explaining exactly what a rover is. A bandit, a highwayman, or James, I don't know if you knew what a land pirate was, but I guess that's what that means too. I just always figured if it was a pirate that there would probably be some water associated, maybe a boat, a makeshift boat of some sort. Maybe an eye patch, who knows? Or like Pirates of the Caribbean. This one whistled in, headed out of harm's way, but it is along the end line, which means it's another in what has been, what feels like a million corner kick opportunities for United today. Nearly 20 minutes gone in the second half and a 2-1 lead for the 616. Holland team that is known for their solid defense. Can they weather the storm again? A header out wide, a second try, and it's high of target and out of play. And as long as they can keep it at this 2-1 deficit, they have a fighting chance. Here's again another look at this corner, just kicked out right in the middle of the 18. And then a strike that's curled high of everything. Back into the forest. So we get a new ball into play. Here into the 66th. One thing you can certainly say about Holland, they have been competitive. On the other side from Midwest United, Grand Rapids Soccer has gone through so many different iterations. Different teams, different locations. This one's sent out of play, throw in here for the Holland Rovers, but Midwest United has been a staple since 1990, and again, with their MLS Next Academy program, and AC Grand Rapids coming to town. I know we talk about the USL a lot and establishing those local rivalries. You can make the same argument for the MLS Next, too. It'll be interesting to see what those two competing will look like. Of course, Grand Rapids has had some fun in recent days. Just recently opened the amphitheater, downtown Grand Rapids. Brand new wide open seating theater spot. And it was Lionel Richie, who actually was the headliner for the inaugural season. The amphitheater, that was yesterday here in Grand Rapids, who opened the amphitheater, the first main act ever at that facility, which will be huge for the city of Grand Rapids, but opened it with hello. We say hello to everybody listening here today. Turnover. Now set piece here for the Holland Rovers into the 68th. Of course, the other on those lists, the War and Treaty Soul and Blues Group, originally from Albion, Michigan. Of course, we talked about some of the players here that are from Albion. Hey, 69th minute on what has turned out to be a very nice day here in Saugatuck. This one handled along the sidelines. Looked like it was out of bounds. Did go over the line, so throw in for United.
For Midwest, number 14.
And take a look at what's coming up the rest of the way here in the Midwest Premier League, though. This matchup standing alone here on this Sunday. Of course, Midwest United right back at it. Coming up on Friday, they got Lansing Common FC. 7 o'clock game that'll be back at the Midwest United complex for that one. Saturday, May the 23rd, a couple of matchups. Goshen College Athletic Complex hosting Goshen City FC at 1927 SC. And what a good start to the year they've had. Rovers looking to cross one on. Taken away off the foot of Lake Vanderplug. We'll get it back and look to hurl it back in here for the Rovers. And then Tulip City United, Grand Rapids SC, also on that Saturday, 8 o'clock start time in Holland, Michigan, playing over at Holland High School at the turf facility. One of those soccer programs, at least in the high school ranks, that has had a lot of success here on the west side of the state, albeit it's just becoming more difficult to win here on the west side. A lot of programs on the rise. Rovers looking to take one back. Crossed into the 18. Turned away, but they're still able to maintain possession, and then a hard challenge to give it right back to United. Defensively solid has United been in the second half. Then on Friday, May the 29th, Midwest United against Goshen City, again at the Midwest United Complex, and then Grand Rapids SC. It's the Holland Rovers at 1, 6, and 7 o'clock respectively to wrap up the month of May. And then, of course, we get into June, and that's kind of where the sprint begins. The value of getting these early season points can really carry you for the remainder of the year. And in Game 3, it matters just that much more. United looking for an opening. Muscling this one to the middle of the pitch, and a takedown there. Do we get a whistle? No, we don't. They say play on. United player took a dive in the middle of the box and didn't get the call. A lot of the action going on off screen here as now they are able to play it back in. Too much pace on it, and Ullman will shuffle over to collect here into the 72nd minute. Well, Holland has been very good at passing it off the back line and being methodical in the way they get up the field, trying to turn the pace up a little bit as we get close to entering the final 15. Really hard takedown that time. Now the Rovers here with a good set piece chance. Easton Lopez, who at several different times was a table setter at Davenport University. Played his freshman campaign there, was a standout, the Grand Rapids product. You're playing for the Rovers this summer. One of the better right foots on this Holland team will look to tie things at 2. Chips it through the middle, and a header there that's carried wide. Rokos doesn't have to worry about it. But a lot of pace on this one from Easton Lopez. Sears it past the wall in front of him. Just can't get solid enough contact on the header. Heads out of bounds, and it looks like it'll be a corner kick. So they did get the deflection they wanted, and so another chance here from the corner for the Holland Rovers. Crossed in, far post, and just too high. Well, great idea. They had a man there, but just a little bit too north of the target. And it looked like that was Malachi Lopez, who was supposed to be on the receiving end of that. Just couldn't time it up. And we continue at 2-1. And it looks like we'll have a water break here. So with about 15 minutes to go in our match, either side will take a quick break, and we'll take one with them. I got to hydrate, too. We got about 15 minutes left. 2-1 lead for Midwest United when we come back here on the National Soccer Network. Well, in a sport that requires so much in the way of endurance and exertion, on a day like today where it is coming down and it is beating it down, the sun that is at over 80 degrees, our first 80-degree day, I believe, here in 2026. It always serves as a good reminder when you're playing on the turf that it gets pretty hot out there. It feels like an oven. Actually, correction, 84 degrees today. Here's you get a look at our weather here on the National Soccer Network. So taking a quick water break there to make sure everyone's good to go here moving forward. This one's looped out in front of us. Holland trying to get one back to bring this one back on level terms. Even if they can get the draw today, that would feel better than taking the loss. Yet, to get their first dub, but they would take a draw if anything. Hard takedown doesn't result in a call in the offensive end for Midwest United. So instead they play one through. It's just too far out in front. Rocco's got the angle on it. Pulls it in himself and boots it back towards the midfield. I believe we might still have a Midwest United player that is on the pitch back in the defensive side of things. Referee making his way back over there, and it does in fact look like we have someone down. Ullman stepping out from goal here to direct traffic, and in fact they'll have the trainer come on to take a look at him. So both sides will make their way off here momentarily as they address the down player. And we will take a momentary step aside. 2-1 lead Midwest United just outside the final 10 here on the National Soccer Network. So a tough challenge right before we head to commercial break, or went to commercial break, that is. And it looks like the player in question has been helped off the pitch. So we'll give you an update as soon as we can on exactly who that is and what the diagnosis is. We continue playing here just outside of the last 15. In a 2-1 lead for Midwest United. Battle for the ball here in the out of bounds. Just beneath us. We did take a look at the standings a little bit earlier. In the Midwest Premier League East, again, right now 19-27 SC in the lead with that one win and one draw. One game on the year for Goshen City FC, so still a chance for them to get into the fight. But it is a little early here through the first couple of matchups to really talk about standings, but games like this one in front of us can really start to create a little bit of distance. Russ Ebert playing out wide here for Holland Rovers. They look to try and target him for a cross. Get this one back even. Out of bounds and a throw in here along the touch line. They drop it back into Lopez with a good cross in, but they can't direct the header on target. Back out to Ebert, who puts a move on. And drops it off for Kevin Torres, who crosses, and Rokos a save. Trying to withstand some late pressure here from the Holland Rovers. Handle this one along the sidelines. As it trickles out along the touch line. The throw-in upcoming here. Of course, on the other side of the table in the East Division. Right now it's Oakland County FC and FC Pontiac, both with 3 points. Wins in their first 2 games. Oakland County SC has not conceded a goal yet this year. MDA Lions in 3rd place. They have 1 loss. Or rather, 1 draw, that is. Michigan Jags with 1 draw. Cedars FC and Toledo Villa FC yet to play a game this year. And of course, Futsal Factory Academy and Legends FC, both with losses. Both with losses to begin the season. Another hard takedown that time on the box out. We'll get another look here on replay. I believe this is Manny Bedoya, and it is sidestep. Takes out the man trying to take that one away from him, and Jack Hinsey. So Bedoya will stand over it here past 80 minutes. And a substitute into the game for Holland. Luis Pera into the frame. Next game over on the east side of the standings will be on Friday, May the 22nd. This one bleeds into the 18. Ullman taking no chances. Skies that one out of harm's way here in the 83rd. It'll be at Wisner Stadium on the turf field. FC Pontiac and Futsal Factory Academy for that matchup. And, of course, Wiley E. Groves High School, another one of those locations over on the east. The MDA Lions and Oakland County FC. As it looks like we may have preliminarily lost our feed here in the 83rd minute with a 2-1 lead in favor of Midwest United. We'll try our best to get that back for you guys here as soon as possible. George. So it was Rocco's early mistake that put him behind. Midwest United got one back off the corner. And again, Ullman nearly taking himself out of position there. They can't do much about that one. A strong strike from just wide of the box. Right past the outstretched arms of Ullman. Did make that save. Now that leads us to where we are here late in the second half. Get a look at another run here for Midwest United in this just under the 80th minute. And really, when you look at the way that Bradshaw Ullman has played today, he has played a great match. It has really just been a matter of pressure, the constant pressure being applied by Midwest United. And of course, this has been a theme. A whole lot of set-piece chances for United. Have not converted on all of them, but have converted twice, and I guess that's what matters. In a 2-1 lead. The team out of Grand Rapids here in the latter half. So still 2-1. It'll be Ullman. Send it away. West player getting taken out at the midfield that time. Officially inside of 5 minutes until we hit full time. Will there be any added time today? Headed back towards the midfield stripe. There was a tough takedown in the offensive zone. Nothing called, though. Looks like here now they finally will. They'll bring it right back to the spot after playing advantage. Looks like the ref may be given a talking to here. What has developed into a very physical match here between Midwest and Holland. So Rovers will play it right back to Ullman atop the 18. Time running low for the team in black and white today. Grab win number 1 here, the 26th summer campaign. Look to play it through the heart of the pitch, but nothing doing there. Bounds throw in for Holland, not wasting any time whatsoever. Stretch it to the wide side of the field and across back towards the middle of the 18. Is headed wide. They had a man there, just not quite the angle they wanted. And that carries it out of bounds, and now United will do a little stall ball here late in the second half. I know just recently introduced themselves to the Midwest Premier League. The 18 looking across. Chopped out here by the Holland Rovers. Stop me if you've heard this story before. We'll head back to the corner here for Midwest United in an opportunity to put the cherry on top here today. It has been an all-out barrage for Midwest United in this match. They have an opportunity to really put this one on ice and maybe put themselves atop the Midwest Premier League West Division standings. Across from the corner, into the 18, and saved. Ullman got it with the right hand, and what a denial. They'll do it again with a 2-1 lead. And as open as that goal could possibly be, solid on the header. Ullman just better on the save. Keeping them within puncher's distance. Midwest United taking a little extra time to get set up here. Do they go the short route? No, instead they send it back in. Ullman pulls it in with 2 hands. And now they got to go. As I said a little bit earlier, you cannot take anything away from the type of game Bradshaw Ullman has had here today for the Holland Rovers. Even a loss in this match would not necessarily take them out of contention, but it always serves as a good reminder to know that you have a pretty good backstop if you need it. Just a couple of really good opportunities that led to 2 goals for Midwest United today, both of them unanswered. So maybe a little frustration for Holland after taking that early lead. But we continue play here into added time. 90 plus some in that 2-1 advantage for Midwest United. They'll go the short route. And we will wrestle in the corner. Holland wins it back. But short-lived as United. Angles it back into the middle of the 18, and Ullman has to high point it again. As he'll run and rip. Fastball through the middle of the pitch. Just how good has Midwest United's midfield been today, getting turnovers when they've needed it. Manny Bedoya leaves that one too far out in front as it's sent away by Holland. Now they'll go right back over top. Ivan Murillo has been waiting for his moment to put his stamp on this game. He had a few one-on-one chances earlier that didn't work out. Tackle that time. And a whistle here against Holland. Whistled ahead. Ooh, an onside play. Ullman out from his position, and he got it. Somehow able to pull it in. Cuts down the chance as it's launched back to the near side sidelines. A whistle that stops play as Holland will get right back to work. Lifting this one ahead. An easy save for Jordan Rokos. Jumps right on top of it. And the whistle will sound. 2 unanswered goals. Midwest United gets it done as they collect the win over the Holland Rovers here today in Saugatuck. And look back at our highlights from this match. Again, an early mistake. You see Rokos trailing the play. Way out of position. Holland took the lead. Not too long later, a corner kick and a perfect one placement-wise brought it back to a 1-1 draw for Midwest United. And then at the very beginning of the second half, opportunity just outside the 18. No one there to step in front of it. And a fastball past the outstretched hands of Ullman gives Midwest United the win. So they get the victory over Holland Rovers, who are still in search of their first win here in 2026. We will have coverage for you here on the National Soccer Network the remainder of this season. But until we talk to you guys next time, one more time, the final score, Midwest United 2, Holland Rovers 1. And until we talk again, so long, everybody.